Hey, this is Kevin with Imagination Hobbies again. What we're going to do here is, if you saw my last video, we have the swamp over here. Sorry, I just got all these rocks on it. We have the swamp over here from my last video that I did. And we'll go ahead and take... Sorry, I just dropped something. We're going to go ahead and take all these things here, and we're going to see if we can change this swamp using the Monster Fight Club terrain and Dwarven Forge terrain we have, and turn it into a kind of a rocky forested area using these toppers combined with Dwarven Forge and with Monster Fight Club trees. So I'm just going to pause this. I'm going to try to transition this into a forest. I'll be right back. Alright, cool guys, thanks for your patience, even though you didn't have to wait at all. I kind of just set this up in just a, weird scattery way, pretty quickly. I didn't really take a lot of time to do it, but it kind of shows you the interaction between the Monster Fight Club stuff and the Dwarven Forge stuff. So like right here we have a piece of Dwarven Forge. I threw a Monster Fight Club bush on top. Right here we got some Dwarven Forge. Completely in shadow here. I took away... What I take away? So I took away these really swampy looking middle parts. For instance, like this piece here. It's got a peg and a hole. So this would have been sticking out here, and the tree would continue up from this stump with the hole in it. But I just took that out. I got rid of some of the swampy elements. You can still throw something like this in here somewhere to just break it up, and just, maybe it's a tree ant or something, and you can still utilize this stuff. I still utilized this very mossy tree stump, because you're still gonna find that in a forest for sure. I just took out some of the dead trees, and I took out the barge, and I kind of utilized more. I think I utilized a couple of these regular stumps and took out the very twisty, viney stumps, but I'll show you in a better picture. But here's how it's turning out. And so I just used the toppers from the Monster Fight Club trees, and the bushes and rocks from the two Monster Fight Club sets I went over. So this is what is it called? Sorry, pardon the noise. This is 2 verdant forest sets that comes with 3 trees and a stump. That's how I wound up with 3 stumps, because I have 2 of these sets and 1 of this set. And it comes with these mats. And so these mats look good if you want to do on your swamp floor. You want to have a dry area for a foundation for a building or some ruins or something. Those look good. On the obverse side of that, it's more of a I don't know, fallen tree kind of forest look, but I mean, it doesn't look bad with it. It's just obviously a different texture. And then for the actual Monster Fight Club trees, you have an autumn fall beneath it, or you have a little river or lake or something that you can use. You can use this in the swamps, or you can move it over into a forested area and use it in a forest, and it lets you use these lily pads again, as if, from the swamp set, which is kind of cool. Or you can just take them away if you don't want lily pads. But I put them in. I thought it was cool. What else did I do differently? So we have, see this little lump here? I went over the sets in the last video, so you'll have to go back to the end of the last video to determine what all the Dwarven Forge sets I used. But this had a swamp monster plant thing, and Dwarven Forge is cool in the way where they let you take some of this stuff out, and so you can't really tell if from here you're not really paying attention to a potential hole in there, and it's really hard to see. So you have that. I just took those out, and they're just little rock lump things. now. This is really cool, really characterful, and then you have like the lush greenery on top. I'm gonna kind of pan around here so you can see like more of the features I used. And these Monster Fight Club treetops, obviously you need to pick which ones fit where, but they will fit on some of these Dwarven Forge trees. Even though that wasn't the intention. This is a Monster Fight Club tree, one of their rocks. And then, like, obviously there's still going to be like some dead trees and some broken trees or fallen trees, and so you can still throw a couple of these little stumps in here. That's a Dwarven Forge base. I swapped the viney tree for the just open stump topper, because I have all these extra toppers here. I took away all the moss little pieces and some of the more swampy looking toppers, and I didn't need that many broken trees. But I mean, you can still use these in a forest. Like if these are just some plant creatures in the forest, like you can still use them. You can still use this monster plant in the forest. Nobody says you can't. Nothing, like, that's the cool part about all this, right? And so now I will say, because the Dwarven Forge was not made with Monster Fight Club tree toppers in mind, they're almost the right size. It's going to take a little bit of fiddling initially, but there is flex in Dwarven Forge. They preach about how, you know, their stuff is like not going to be destroyed. So you can fiddle around with it, and you can get the topper to fit. And you can kind of angle it however you want. And you can even put a bigger, like if this bothers you that it's tilted, just grab a bigger topper in the Monster Fight Club tree toppers. Throw a bigger topper on. They come in technically two sizes, so it's almost indistinguishable, but like I think these are the smaller ones, and that one's slightly larger. They're just slightly varied. And that helps you kind of get ones that fit on different styles of tree. Like this tree is actually really huge. If I just scoot it up front and center here. Like this tree has a lot of branches and stuff, and some cool little details on it and stuff. But if you're trying to give it a tree topper, you know, just fiddle around with it until you think it's acceptable. And then, you know, just whatever. I don't really care too much, because once it's all together, it just makes it look more organic. What else I do? I put this fallen tree up next to like a rock, just cool. You can put it next to like one of the bigger rocks if you want. They come with these little, there's a separate set that I didn't tell you guys about for Monster Fight Club that I recommend getting. It is a smaller set. Oh, just knocked it over. It's called Bushes and Verdant Green. And this gives you like these little bushes. These like medium-sized bushes and little bushes. And if you're inclined to, you can use the bushes as little unique tree toppers. If you're inclined to do that. If you don't like that, that's fine. Just use them on the ground, like so, like they are intended. But this is why I go with neoprene mats. Neoprene mats gives me like the space that I need to play on, as big as I want. This is a 4x4 green mat. It's just not rolled all the way out, and it's hanging off the table. I have about 2 by 2 feet of it in use right now, but I mean, I can get 6x4s, I can get 8x4 mats. They just make any size, and I can do any layout I want, and then I can even put them next to each other. Like I have another mat that is in between this color and the swamp color, and it would be a cool transition to go from like that other mat to the swamp, or that other mat to this. But yeah, I highly recommend neoprene mats. They're gonna last you a long time. They look really good. I even threw this little jungle thing in here just because I can get it to fit too. But yeah, sorry, I'm just kind of yammering on, but I'm pretty happy about the way this little forest looks. If it were up to me, I probably wouldn't use this large lake unless it was part of the scene in the campaign, or unless I had a bigger space. So I'll just take that away for now. And there's like this little rock outlay, or whatever you'd call outcropping thing. But anyways, that's Monster Fight Club and Dwarven Forge combined. And I think that is the most effective way to utilize their terrain. In my personal opinion, you get a little bit more enhancement and more detail than just the Monster Fight Club plain trees, where it's just like, you know, these umbrella trees. You get a kind of a varied look. You utilize, you know, multiple sets of their product, as well as maybe some Dwarven Forge sets, and you can kind of get a lot out of it. You get more for your buck. You don't have to buy Dwarven Forge at all. You can just go Monster Fight Club if you're trying to save money on that, or it's not worth it to you. But I just went with both because you saw my last video. If you haven't checked it out yet, please go check it out. It shows all these pieces being transitioned into using it as a swamp environment, minus a few things like these rocks and these little bushes and the toppers. But once you take these toppers off, you get like a dead tree, which is cool. You can use Dwarven Forge pieces to enhance it, make it look really swampy. And so that's kind of what my other video is about. But yeah, super simple. Thanks for watching this video. This is Kevin with Imagination Hobbies signing off. Have a good day.